What's going on, guys? Aaron here from Churning Waters. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. Hope you guys aren't drinking too much beer and eating too much food or doing too much fishing. Just a quick video. I was out with some customers yesterday and I made a brand new color that I'm running this year. It's a new custom painted blade that I made, and super excited about this color. I've never seen it's a new style, new color Flashaboo, and it looks pretty slick in the water. And the fish have been responding to it this year really well. Customers in the boat, I was throwing it, my customers were throwing it, and what I was noticing was the blades acted like they were lagging. They weren't really wanting to spin as well as I wanted them to. And with the products that I use to build these baits, because they are metal and they're small, there's a lot of inconsistencies within the products that I sometimes use for building these baits. And I'll give you this bait here too, for example. These are different size. There's different size clevises. I don't know if you guys can see those clevises blades are on. So usually when I get them, they're spread open. They're not parallel to each other like this. They're usually kicked out a little bit. So I started looking at this bucktail yesterday. The blades weren't really spinning all that well. I looked at it, and the clevises were sticking out like this. They were opened up and they weren't parallel to each other. So once I looked at that, I started squeezing them down little by little, and the blade started spinning better and better, and then it would pull a little bit harder and harder. And I've had this bucktail here. I've caught a ton of fish on it. It's my it's Sucker Punch is the color, and I've caught so many fish in the first one I had to rewire it and rebuild it. I said look at the clevises on these yesterday, and they were doing the same thing too, and I've always had problems with the blades on this, and it wasn't the blades or the build of the bait. It was them stupid little clevises right there. So I typically don't squeeze these clevises down whenever I build the bait. So just a little heads up for you guys that have purchased baits from me or have baits from me. If you have one that the blades don't quite spin like they should, or they don't kick in and engage fast enough, simply look at those clevises, take your pliers, if you can see this, and I'm literally, hold on, move my finger there. I'm squeezing them down to where they're parallel to each other, or they're actually a little over parallel, where they're pinching against each other. And once I did that on this one, I had a couple others that were doing the same thing. They ran phenomenal. I had no problems with them at all. So, like I said, sometimes the products that I use are fairly inferior to the other 1,000 that I bought or used, but you can see them clevises right there. I've actually squeezed down pretty tight. There's the one to the inside on the bottom right here. This one's pinched down a little bit further, and this one's a little bit more where the edge of the clevises are parallel to each other. So if by chance you guys have some of my bucktails that them blades aren't quite rotating and you're getting that pull that you want out of them, look at those clevises, take your pliers, and squeeze them down. Don't over squeeze them, because if you bent this thing down and it kinks it back there, it's probably going to snap. So just little by little, get it to the consistency that you want the blades to spin, and for you to get the certain amount of pull that you want. So, all right guys, well, happy Memorial Day. Have a safe one, good fishing, and I'll see you guys in the water. Thanks.